Hey everyone, it's Hamish from the Young Investors Podcast. Myself and Brandon are excited to bring you your weekly rundown of the latest business and investing news from around the world. A quick reminder before we get started, any advice provided by Brandon is general and does not consider your financial situation, needs, or objectives, so consider whether it's appropriate for you. Brandon van der Kolk is authorised to provide general financial product advice in Australia and is authorised representative number 1305795 of Guideway Financial Services Proprietary Limited, AFSL number 420367. Please see the description box for Brandon's financial services guide. Past performance is not a reliable indication of future investment returns. But with that said, let's get into another episode of the Young Investors Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Young Investors Podcast.
Da-da-da-da.
I'm back in Canberra. Hamish, you're still in Melbourne.
I am.
How you going, friend?
I'm doing well. You asked me, I think it was last week, whether I'd done all my my Christmas shopping. I've finally done it all. And you know what? I was actually... I did most of my Christmas shopping kind of over the last few days, and I've actually been very impressed with Australia's kind of postal service. Usually when you do post it like this week, like in the past when I've done mail and I've like ordered stuff this week, it's been really bad. Like most of it comes like the week after, but everything came in like 1 or 2 days. So I was actually impressed. They're actually switched on this year, so yeah.
Nice. They're actually doing their jobs.
Yeah.
The one thing that I hate, though, and I feel like a lot of people out there will resonate, I feel like delivery drivers, some delivery drivers, not all, but some, they're not even trying to deliver packages. They have all the packages in the back of the truck, and what they're trying to do is put a "I was here" slip in your post box.
Yeah.
That's all they do. I've had people in the past, they don't even knock on the door. They don't even get the package out of the truck. They just write a slip. I tried to deliver this on this date. Now you need to go collect it from the post office. And they slip it in the letterbox and then they go.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Annoying.
They definitely do that. They definitely don't even try. They just give you just give you the card.
But I'm glad you've had a good experience.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, today, guys, we are revisiting our 2024 stock market predictions.
Do we really have to do this again? Can we just make predictions for once and just like forget about them? Because it always ends so badly for me. I don't think I've had a single year where this episode has been fun for me.
No, you are historically, you are a spectacularly poor predictor.
which is kind of funny because I probably said this last year as well. Like if I look at my own portfolio, I've done very well this year, but for some reason when it comes to like broad predictions or this episode specifically, I'm not only bad, I'm just completely cursed. So it's kind of a meme at this point.
Well, it kind of teaches you a lesson, doesn't it? Like, I mean, that's of course, these episodes are more in jest than anything because, I think,
of course,
the kind of underlying premise is that you can't predict the stock market.
Yeah.
But it's funny to try.
Yeah. Well, it's fun for everyone else. It's going to be interesting to look at some of my predictions because I know there's a couple I think I did reasonably well on. And then there's a lot that I'm sure I did quite poorly. So
we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
All right, should we get into it?
Yeah, so today's episode is brought to you by Seeking Alpha, your one-stop shop for stock analysis, market data, and news. Access expert analysis and news for thousands of stocks. View buy, hold, and sell ratings from members, Wall Street analysts, and Seeking Alpha's own algorithm. Screen for stocks using a variety of fundamental and technical analysis metrics. Access 10 years of financial data and company filings, and manage your portfolio by tracking your investments with price alerts, so you never miss a buying opportunity again. Click the link in the episode description or head directly to seekingalpha.me/young investors to try Seeking Alpha free for 7 days.
All right.
How should we do this? I guess we'll go one section each.
Sure. I mean, we can just riff, but I'll go first. Yeah. US stock market. That's where we started. US stock market, higher or lower? I said it was up. It was going to be up. The S&P would be up by less than 10%. What did you say?
Okay, I said it would be down by less than 10%.
And we were both very badly wrong on that.
Yeah, that was...
the S&P 500 year to date is up 23.7%.
Yeah. So we were both very wrong. I mean, I was much more wrong than you, but we were both very wrong on that. And then, so what's the total return of the S&P? So I think there was 1.2% in dividends as well that's kind of been paid year to date as well. So you can kind of add that, I guess, onto the S&P return. But yeah, what a crazy year for the US stock market. Another 25% return. 25-ish, yeah, including dividends. And I did take a look at 2023 as well, and it was basically the same. I think it was about 26%, including dividends. So, back-to-back insane years for the US stock market, which is
Historically, it's not been the greatest idea to bet against the US market, has it?
No, for sure. And especially in like the few years after some kind of significant economic event. Like if you look at the few years after 2008, of course, there's some crazy years for the S&P, after the housing market kind of collapsed. And certainly since COVID, since 2020, there's, 2020 itself was still an up year, but after that 35-ish% crash, we've had quite a number, even though there's only been a couple of years, that we've seen quite a number of good years since then. So yeah, it's not been a good time to, as you said, to bet against the US stock market.
Well, what about betting against the Australian stock market, Hamish? So Australian stock market, higher or lower? What did you say?
I said that it would be about flat. And so the margin that I gave it was 5% up or down, I think is what I wrote there. So plus 5% or down 5%. What did you have?
And I said it was going to be up by less than 10%, Hamish.
Okay.
And guess what?
Drum roll.
I was right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in one sense. I mean, if you don't include dividends. But I guess for this prediction, I can't remember if we specifically mentioned whether we were including dividends or not. I think it probably not with this one.
You're right. Probably
not, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait, that's bad. I'm going to get a lot wrong. So I need you to be getting some wrong. No, but yeah, in Australia, of course, dividends are a big part of stock market returns with, franking credits and that sort of thing applying to most companies, or to a lot of companies at least. And I think it was 4.5% that's been paid out year to date.
Wow.
For the Australian market. So yeah, quite a difference, quite a contrast from the US market, which is about 1%. So yeah, if you're including dividends, then yeah, the Australian market is up about 10% or a little bit over 10%. But
lucky we're not.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
And I missed out by 0.75%. Awesome.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah. I think I'm just getting all of my my incorrect predictions out of the way. Like, it must be pretty good from here on in. It must be. There's no way it could get worse.
No,
it couldn't.
No, definitely not.
Couldn't possibly get worse. But for the next section, you had an interesting result. Well, both of us, but you in particular. The next prediction that we made related to the stock market was the best and worst performing stock in the S&P 500. So we both predicted which would be the stock that's up the most and which would be the stock that is down the most. I said that Google would be the best performer, and that the Walt Disney Company would be the worst performer. What did you say? What did you have?
I said that the best performing stock would be Nvidia.
Okay, that's a pretty good guess.
Solid guess. I also said that Tesla would be the worst performing stock.
Yeah, that one's not so good.
That one did not happen.
Yeah, no, not so good. So the best performer. Do you have the full list there so we can check our specific picks? But the best performer so far this year is Palantir, which is up I think around 350%. Year to date, which is obviously astronomical. That's insane.
I have the list, but as we were checking this before, this is a list by Slick Charts, and it says that it's the year to date return of the S&P 500 companies, but it does seem like it's lagging a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but it's still it's very close, I would imagine. But yeah, it's not quite there. Like it says Palantir. What did I say, Hamish? What
Palantir's up 347%.
Whereas this one says it's up 316%.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of a difference. But I can give you maybe the top 10. We got Palantir, then Vistra Corp, then Nvidia coming in at 3. So I wasn't too far off. Axon Enterprise, GE Vernova, United Airlines up 120%, or on this chart. Texas Pacific Land Corp, Broadcom, Howmet Aerospace, and then Targa Resources.
Right.
All of those except for the last two up over 100% this year.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is, as I kind of alluded to at the beginning, if I just picked the stock that's the biggest stock in my portfolio, that I would have done reasonably well on this as well, because I think Netflix is pretty high up on that list.
On this list, it's number 14.
Yeah, so
it says it's up 82%, but you've checked and it's probably a bit higher than that, right?
I think it was like 90. Yeah, something about 90%. Where was Google on? Where's Google sitting on the list? That was my best pick.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's quite a ways down, I think.
88th. Up 35%.
Yeah, that's not very. That's a pretty bad prediction. And then so in terms of the worst performer, it was Walgreens, down 65% year to date. Ouch.
Oof.
I said, you said Tesla, which is maybe the worst prediction of all time. And
come on, mate. Don't hook into me. You are in no position, mate.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I'm just trying to get my wins where I can. And I said the Walt Disney Company, which is also a terrible prediction. I think they're up about 20% this year. So that was a terrible prediction for the worst performer for the year. That's for sure.
We were talking a little bit off air before, but having a look, the second worst performer in the S&P 500 this year, Intel. That blows my mind, where it just seems like these chip companies are just going from strength to strength. Obviously, I don't follow the industry super closely, but I was gobsmacked to see that Intel is the second worst. On this list, it says it's down 62% year to date, which is crazy.
Yeah, that hurts. As you said, especially given how the rest of the industry seems to be completely on fire at the moment. It's kind of the gold rush of chips and buying chips and graphics chips and CPUs and that sort of thing. So, ouch.
Could not believe it.
Yeah.
Could not believe it. But yeah, they were our stock market predictions, Hamish.
Yep.
But next up, we also did economic predictions, because we are Jerome Powell. We are, we are the economic prognosticators. Will there be a recession? That was our first question.
Yep.
Hamish, what did you say?
I said no. What did you say?
I said yes.
Ooh.
I said we were gonna cop it. And that was not the case. There was no recession, and quite the opposite, I would say. I guess it always depends on who you ask or what metric you look at or how you define it. But no, broadly speaking, there has not been a recession. Yeah. No hard landing.
No.
As of yet.
As of yet. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually doing okay so far. I'm not doing as bad as I think
you're not doing
last year so far.
You're
I'm
not doing too
doing
bad.
all right. But yeah, no recession.
Well, I think last year you literally got like nothing.
Yeah, I basically, yeah. We don't have to revisit that. We privated that episode, right? That's not up anymore.
No, it's gone.
All right, US inflation, higher or lower? So at the start of the year, US inflation was 3.1%. So we made a prediction about what we thought it would do. I said it would be about the same, 3 or 4%. And then we also did core inflation as well. And I said 3.5 to 4.5%. What did you say for US inflation?
I said inflation would be between 2 and 3%. And core inflation would be between 3 and 4%.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, if we're splitting
And guess
hairs,
what?
then sure, you got me on that one, but we're both pretty accurate.
We are splitting hairs, and I did get you on that one. Inflation is currently 2.75% headline inflation, and core is 3.3%. Thank you very much. Take a bow, Brandon.
Yeah. That prediction probably... I guess really the prediction was, is there going to be another resurgence of inflation? And, obviously nobody knows the answer to that, but we kind of bet on the right horse there, I think. So,
we're actually both, did pretty, we did reasonably well. All right, Hamish, US interest rates higher or lower at the time, 5.25%. Was it 5.25 to 5.5? I think it was.
Yes, I think that was the range. Yeah.
Yep. And what did you guess?
I said about the same. I said 4.5 to 5.5%, which is a huge range to be giving for this kind of thing. But anyway.
Between 0 and 10.
Between negative 100 and plus 100.
Well, I said so confidently, rates, they're not going to move.
Oof.
They're not going to move.
Oof.
And what do we get?
We so interest rate, yeah.
Do we get 0.75% decline in the end, or roughly? Well,
yeah.
We've got interest rate, or even more.
There was three. Maybe it was was one of them 0.5%, or maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, the first one was 0.5%.
Yeah, so it was 1% in total, I think was the move.
Yes, that makes sense. With interest rates now at 4.25 to 4.5%. So both of us
are wrong. Yeah,
you were closer because you put the range in there, whereas I didn't play my cards right. I didn't have the system.
Yeah, you put all your money down on 5.25% specifically. No deviation.
It's not going anywhere. I was wrong. Yeah. I was seriously wrong. Oh dear. Oh, this will be an interesting next section, Hamish. Yes. You want to take us through the next one?
Yes, the US election. So of course, we had some very unique predictions we could make in 2024 because of the US presidential election. We asked three different questions. The first was, will Biden run for re-election? And I said no, which is that, I don't know if we're, I don't know. Because he technically ran for well, what did you say first of all?
I said that he would run.
Yeah.
But we're both right and we're both wrong.
Because he
did run.
But he wasn't on the ballot, right? So I think if we're splitting hairs, I
think it can be argued either way. I think we both have to just agree to not we either both score full points or we both don't get any points.
Okay, yeah, we might have to settle this one in court. No, you're right. The way that the question's written, I think the way the question's written, you're correct. He did run for re-election.
I would agree. It just didn't last very long.
Yeah, but I think that what we were actually asking when we wrote this was, would he, at least this was in my mind, would he be
on the card?
Would he be on the card? Yes, exactly. Like, would he be facing the Republican candidate when people voted? At least that was what was in my mind. So maybe you're right. Maybe we can both get a point for that one.
All right, we can both have a point. But this
one's well.
There's no two ways about this next one. Will Trump be the Republican candidate?
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, you were
because I said no.
Yeah, that was a terrible call.
that was bad. That was a bad call. That was poor on my part. I'm sorry, everybody.
I obviously said yes.
Obviously, just to rub it in. I obviously said yes because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a clear point for me. And then we did who wins the 2024 election, and both of us said Republicans, red, and we were both, of course, correct.
We were indeed.
So yeah,
Republicans, and by a long margin in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't even
long way.
It wasn't really even close. which is always funny when all the polls and all the media is saying it's a tight race.
I was reading somewhere that they do that sometimes intentionally to try and encourage more people to vote.
Yeah.
When it's like, if they portray it to be closer than it is, then it will encourage people that maybe wouldn't bother voting to actually go and vote.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that does make sense, but it's also obviously kind of ridiculous. Like if you're putting polls out, the polls, you know, the point of the poll is to reflect what's actually happening, not to just induce people to vote. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was a massive sweep, really, in the end. So
it was.
Yeah, well done to
Was it every swing state went red?
Every swing state, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty convincing victory for Mr. Donald Trump and the Republican Party. We should do more. Well, we can't really do any more politics predictions next year because there isn't all that much. But we should have done this. We should have done more of this. I'm actually quite good at this.
Yeah, the politics. You like politics much more than I do.
Yeah,
I think you follow it much more closely than me.
That is true. Yeah. I should be following Australian politics because it's the one that actually matters to me. But it's not all that interesting, to be honest.
It's really not. It's quite boring.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. We had we had 3 other predictions, which were kind of topical news stories at the time.
Yes.
And the first one was your high school mate, Hamish, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
You guys were besties in high school.
Yeah, we go way back. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I had nothing to do with FTX though. Yeah, my hands are clean.
Yeah. Wait, you ended up with the money?
Yeah. Where did it go?
How we were asking how many years would he receive? How many years behind bars?
Yeah.
And what did you say, Hamish?
I said 28, and I think the reason I said this was, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was either was there 4 or 7? Actually, I can't remember off the top of my head. There was either 4 or 7 charges that he was found guilty of. I think it was.
Right.
I think it was 4. I can't remember. But I remember I applied an average to... I tried to be smart about this. I applied like an average sentence to each... an average sentence to each of the charges. And that's how I got to 28. So it was either he got 4 charges and I said 7 years for each, or it was 7 charges and I said 4 years for each. I can't remember exactly which way it was.
Using your intimate knowledge of the courts and justice system.
Yeah, exactly. So I said 28. I said 28 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you said 28. I said 18.
18.
And you were closer, my friend. He ended up getting 25.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Pretty insane that he was facing a maximum of 110. That would have been quite something to see him get the maximum sentence. That would have been that would have been quite something.
That's wild.
Yeah. Insane.
It's crazy hearing all the stuff come out about him, like post him going to jail, and like all the video footage of him at FTX and him on podcasts, and even watching the old CoffeeZilla video, how he's just like so confident in himself.
Yeah.
Like he trusts himself to be able to talk his way out of anything. And if you guys haven't seen the CoffeeZilla video of CoffeeZilla going through the podcast where SBF basically describes a pyramid scheme and how great it is, I highly recommend you guys go and watch it. It is very, very funny.
Insane. Yeah. Insane.
Oh, we won't be seeing him again.
No. Well, for a little while. 25 years.
25 years. What will he come out with? It's like that guy with the Fire Festival.
Well, I was just thinking that.
He gets in trouble and then he pops back up. 10 years later, he'll pop back up doing something else.
Yeah, well, that guy's back, and he said he's doing a Fire Festival too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Which I thought he was barred from being a director, but obviously of a company. But I guess he's...
I think he is.
He is, right? Yeah, so he's obviously found a way to somehow be a promoter of this next festival.
Well, I think he was already immediately trying to start new businesses, but just through other people. Like he basically was a director, but he just officially wasn't.
Crazy.
But
yeah.
Yep. Those people, they just find a way. Just go away.
Go away.
All right, Hamish. What are we
Yeah.
up to next? Will a major crypto exchange go bust? I said no. What did you say?
I also said no.
You said no, and no is correct.
Right. Okay.
No is
go.
correct. I looked this
yeah.
up before, and
What
were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that would have been surprising because it's been such a good year for the cryptocurrency market. So usually, if there is going to be if the crypto market is really struggling, that's where you're probably going to see trouble appear for some of these exchanges that might not have the squeakiest clean books. But no big crypto exchange busts. And the last prediction we did was also related to cryptocurrency, and it's of course Bitcoin.
Hamish, I'd quite like to hear your prediction on this one. What did you say?
Do we have time? I think we're running out of time. So we obviously made a prediction. Would the price of Bitcoin be up or down in 2024? And I said that it would be down. What did you say?
You said it would be. Sorry, what?
I don't need to repeat it. It'll be down.
No, I said Bitcoin rather would be up, and it was up quite substantially, 120% in US dollars, 140% in Australian dollars.
Absolutely
Hectic.
insane. Absolutely.
Big returns.
Yeah.
Congrats for all the Bitcoin holders out there, the hodlers.
Yeah. And
because you are much more wealthy than you were 12 months ago.
Yeah, and I was just looking at 2023 as well. So the year before, 2023, Bitcoin was up 170%. So the last 2 years,
wow,
has been quite the ride for those who got in a couple of years ago. Who knows what's going to happen to Bitcoin from here? It's always such a roller coaster. It's always fun to watch, at least.
It's definitely the one, like, you're actually just taking a stab in the dark as to, like, with the prediction.
Yeah.
Like, there is literally no way of informing yourself even slightly to make it somewhat of an educated guess. It's literally just like, I don't know. It's literally toss a coin.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Maybe I should do that next time. Probably have a better chance.
Maybe we'll both do that. All right, but with that said, they were our predictions.
Yep.
I haven't been tallying them up as we've been going.
No.
So I don't know who won.
I feel like it was actually kind of close. I feel like you definitely beat me, but it was kind of close.
We'll call it a draw so that I don't have to go back and count them up.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw any year.
Oh dear. But with that, guys, we are going to wrap things up for this episode, for this Christmas week episode. What are you up to for Christmas, Hamish?
Not too much, just a couple of family things here and there. So pretty quiet, actually. Yeah, I've been taking a bit of a break from the YouTube content, which has been good. So I'll take one more week off, and then I'll be ready to go for the start of next year. So just enjoying the sun that we're getting blessed with here in Melbourne at the moment.
You just scratched your face before, and it reminded me. Can we get like your 30-second review of your new sleeping ring?
Oh yeah, it's actually So this is an ultra human, kind of like a sleep.
Not sponsored in any way.
Not sponsored at all. They were very nice. They sent me one for Christmas. So shout out to them. But not sponsored at all. It's been quite good. I think it's good just because it gives you, it obviously measures your sleep cycles and how long you're sleeping and that sort of thing. And it gives you good tips for someone who has terrible sleep, for little things you can kind of improve to kind of dial things in. So, it's been going well so far. It's been going well.
Have you slept more since wearing the ring?
Well, I have, but I also haven't really been working. Since I've had it. So the real test will be what my sleep, what it says about my sleep when I'm working, which is usually when it's quite poor. Yeah. So we'll have to wait till.
So those that don't know, Hamish, you are a notoriously bad sleeper.
Yes, yeah. We might have mentioned it once or twice. I think.
Yes, I think we have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm thinking about maybe I'll get one. Tash wants one. She wants to get one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get one, test it out, because I don't like wearing the watch. The watch just, I don't know, especially after a while, and it makes my wrist get all like itchy and maybe a bit of eczema and stuff. It's just not great.
Yeah.
But a ring's super easy to wear.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. It was like I didn't want to have like a full kind of watch on. The one downside, this applies more to you than to me, but you can't do like weight training in it because it would damage the ring.
Yeah.
And so a lot of your gym stuff you can't wear it. So yeah, that is like the one kind of thing, drawback compared to like a smartwatch or a Fitbit or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, mate, happy Christmas. I hope you have a good break. We are you won't see a gap in content. So we've revisited our predictions this episode. In the next episode for next week will be a fun one because we are going to be making our 2025 predictions. So
I better study
just
up.
setting ourselves up for failure once again.
Oh God.
Yeah. So thanks very much for tuning in, guys, and have a good Christmas. And when will the next one come out? Before yes, just before New Year's. The next one. So I don't need to wish you a happy New Year yet. Have a good Christmas. If you're in Australia, enjoy the Boxing Day test. That's what I like best about Christmas time.
Yep. Exactly.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.
See you guys.